Good morning, everybody. My name is Ian, and I am the owner of Right Start Newcomer Services. Happy Halloween, everybody. What am I? You have 3 guesses. Okay, I can only show two claws with my costume. Don't worry, I'll take these off in a second. I just wanted to show everybody that I'm dressed up for Halloween. Just one thing before we begin. 1 second. Okay, before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that Right Start Newcomer Services conducts business in Chibuktuk, which is how you say Halifax in the Mi'kmaq language. This city is part of the ancestral unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This means that when settlers came, the indigenous people did not surrender their territory and instead signed treaties with Europeans. As a business, we're committed to upholding these treaties as we continue to build relationships between settlers, newcomers, and Mi'kmaq people. Okay, so welcome everybody. So who's here? Say hello in the chat. Sorry, we're a little bit late starting. Of course, I had to get my amazing costume ready. I know it's pretty cool, and you're probably wondering where you can get a cool costume like this. Pilar says I look funny, so I guess that's what I'm going for. It's a lobster costume. Oh, where's my my other one? So this one should be up like so. No, it's hard to tell where my, oh yeah, there's my antenna. There we go. So like my costume. Great. So thank you. I was going for some laughs. I was hoping that you guys would find this funny. And it's a Halloween costume. So today's lesson is on Halloween. That's why I am dressed like an idiot. Hey, Vince, how's it going? Pilar's laughing. And good morning, teacher. I hope everything in your family is fine. Yeah, so last week we were off. We've been off for a week and a half. I want to tell you guys what's going on. So it has to do with my father-in-law. He had a heart attack. Yeah, a week and a half ago. So basically we were running around a lot. We had to visit him in the hospital. Michelle's mother came to stay with us. So yeah, I didn't really have time for the live streams, unfortunately, but he's doing better. So claws up, he's doing better. He's back home now. He's out of the hospital. He had surgery on his heart. So hopefully, claws crossed, everything is going to be better for him. But I'm so happy to be back with you guys, my best students in the world. I'm very happy to be back with you guys. Hey, Vince is here. Hey, Vince, how's it going? You still have to come get your watch. And hey, Bay, welcome to today's lesson. Are you guys wearing a costume? I hope you're wearing a costume too. I don't want to be the only person wearing a costume. I guess I'm not. Maybe there's somebody else who wants to say hello. Come on in. Oh, hello. Who's that? Hi, Mr. Okay, Mr. What do you call Unicorn? Thank you, Mr. Unicorn. Welcome. Enjoy the lesson. Okay. Thank you, sweetie. Okay. So today's lesson is all about Halloween in Canada. And we're going to learn some new words. We're going to practice our English quite a bit today. We have got some fun activities we can do together. You're stuck with this costume, I guess, for the rest of the class, but I have to take off my claws because I can't really use the mouse so well when I've got my claws on, although I like them. If you're looking for a cool costume like this, I got it on Amazon, of course, which is where I get half of my stuff. The lobster, these were separate, the claws. It was like, I don't know, $50 or something like that, but I can wear it every year for Halloween. This is my new Halloween costume. So I'll be wearing it all the time from now on. Well, every Halloween, not all the time, because I don't know what people would say in public if I wore this all the time. So anyway, we've got a great lesson today. We're going to have a little chat about Halloween, talk about Halloween in your culture, Halloween in Canada. We're going to do a crossword puzzle together. So we're going to learn some good Halloween vocabulary. We're going to learn some Canadian culture. We're going to talk about Halloween safety for the kids if you're sending your kids out trick-or-treating. And then we're going to play a little game at the end. We're going to play Halloween bingo. So I don't know if you know what bingo is, but we're going to play a little game at the end just to see who is the best at Halloween. I just wanted to show you guys this cool picture. So this was in my neighborhood. I went out for a run, and you can see some people go pretty crazy for Halloween. They have all these crazy decorations. What do you see in this picture? So take a look. Tell me what you see. Use your English writing skills and vocabulary just to tell me what's happening in this picture. Oh, I didn't show you guys my arms. I got a whole bunch of arms down there. It's really hard to see. Here, let me lower the camera a little bit so you guys can see my cool arms. Look at that. So, yeah, I've got like 8 arms and legs. So yeah, I just thought you guys should see that as well. Wanted you to get the full effect of my costume. So anyway, what do you guys see in this picture? Use your vocabulary skills to describe this picture just a little bit before we move on to our discussion. So some people put up lights, some people put up skeletons. This looks like a horse or a unicorn. Pilar, good vocabulary. So skeletons, bones, spider webs. Yeah, let's say spider webs. Lights. Yeah, exactly. Lorraine says, I'm not sure if there's a dog or horse skeleton. Yeah, hey, Lorraine, I think it is a horse. It's like, I think there were 2 horses actually pulling this wagon with skeletons on it. Anyway, it was pretty cool. So I decided to take a picture. And yeah, some people in Canada go really crazy over the decorations. Okay, let's move on. So let's have a little chat, you guys. I've got 5 questions for you there. Number 1, do people celebrate Halloween in your country? So is it a common tradition? Like here in Canada, yeah, lots of people celebrate. Some people decorate their house. Some people go to Halloween parties. Some people take their kids out to get candy. But yeah, a lot of people do celebrate it. Okay, so hey there. Engineering visual process. Sorry, I forgot what your real name is. You have to remind me. Lights, skeletons, and spider webs instead of web spiders, we would say. So number 1, do people celebrate in your country? Number 2, what do you like best about Halloween? So for me, my favorite part is, a little bit of candy. I like to watch scary movies. What else do I like to do? Just spend time with family mainly. I don't have kids, so we don't go out trick-or-treating. But yeah, my favorite things are watching scary movies and eating candy. Is that better? Okay, that's better. Number 3. Do you like scary movies? And what's your favorite scary movie? So there's a lot of them. Which one is your favorite? Number 4, why do you think people like Halloween? So do you think they like to dress up? Do you think they like to act foolish? And number 5, what would you dress up for Halloween? What would you dress up for as? What would you dress up as for Halloween and why? So if you could get a cool costume like this, what costume would you choose? All right, so answer one of those questions, all of those questions. I'm just going to hang out for a sec and try out this new feature. Oh, that's cool. So now I can go down in the bottom corner. That's pretty cool. Can I expand it? Anyway, I like this. I can be down in the corner and you guys get a better view of the screen. So that's pretty cool. Okay, Yelda has an answer. So more people celebrate in my country. Just Halloween party is common without picking up treats. Okay, so more people. Maybe you can say a lot of people or many people. So many people celebrate in my country. Halloween parties are more common without picking up treats. So from what I understand, people don't go trick-or-treating. People don't go out to get treats, but they have Halloween parties. And Yelda, I think you're from Turkey. So Turkey, some people celebrate, but people don't go out trick-or-treating. Okay, thank you very much, Yelda. That's great. And Lorraine says we celebrate Halloween, but we kind of merge our Dia de Muertos. So that's like Day of the Dead, I think. Children also ask for trick or treat. Very good. So it's very similar, but you combine it with a different holiday in your country called Dia de Muertos, Day of the Dead. Children also ask for trick or treat. Okay, very cool. Yes, it's common on the Day of the Dead, so maybe also you're in Mexico as well. Thank you very much. And Pilar says we celebrate Halloween in Colombia. Many people go to parties and the children ask for candies. That's great. Great, you don't have to say the parties. You can just say many people go to parties. Okay, very cool. What about some of the other questions? So do you like scary movies? What about the candy? What do you like for candy? And what would you dress up for as Halloween? What would you dress up as for Halloween? And then we'll move on to our next activity. It's tough to look serious in this outfit. Okay, and we give candies for children. So that's number 2. What do you like best about Halloween? We give candies to children and no S on children. So we give candies to children instead of for children. Give to. So always with the word give, it's followed by the preposition to. Give candies to children, and with children you don't need S because it's already plural. Okay, great job engineering visual process. Awesome. So let's get maybe 1 or 2 more answers and then we'll move on. Can you just answer one of those questions? Okay. So here's Pilar again. I like see different costumes that people used to wear and see my nephew wear it. Okay. So difference, no S. I like to see the different costumes, and your S would go on costumes. So I like to see the different costumes that people wear and see my nephew wear it or wear his. Okay, great. So good English, Pilar. Just a couple changes you would make there. And Yelda, I like best one about Halloween. That's so many different costumes in it. The other one is all children are so excited this day. Okay, great sentence. So maybe you can say, I like this best about Halloween. Or what I like best about Halloween is there are so many different costumes. So something like that. Okay, very good, Yelda. And I don't like scary movies because they stress me. We can say stress me out. And that would be a perfect sentence. Okay, so I don't like scary movies because they stress me out. Sure. Eduardo, yes. So sorry, Eduardo. I will try to remember that. I'll write it down. Okay, so Eduardo, sorry about that. My memory is not as good as it used to be. Pilar also hates scary movies. So I hate scary movies. I'm a fearful person, but my husband loves. Don't forget your S on loves. My husband loves scary movies. Okay, so you don't watch them together. Christian loves them, but you don't like them. Yeah, I didn't used to like them, but once in a while, once or twice a year, I'll watch a scary movie. My favorite, I really like The Ring. Do you guys remember that movie? Maybe you're too young, but The Ring, it's about this little ghost or something. It's this little girl who has her hair down over her face and she comes out of the TV and kills people. So The Ring is a good one. I can't think of any other scary movies, but The Ring, yeah, that's my favorite. Okay, great. So thank you for telling me what it's like in your country. Thank you for telling me your opinions about Halloween. Let's move on to the next one. So we're going to do an activity. We're going to do it together. Basically, we're going to do a crossword puzzle with Halloween vocabulary. So you're going to help me to complete a Halloween crossword puzzle that I found online. Eduardo has a comment here. Here in Mexico, people like to remember their dead parents. Okay, so it's a day where you remember family members. Yeah, I heard a little bit about that, but I think that's wonderful. So that's a great way to remember your parents, grandparents, ancestors. I wish we did that here, but we don't really have a day for that. We tend to remember somebody maybe on the day they died, on the anniversary of that date. We also have a day, Remembrance Day, where we might remember soldiers who died fighting for Canada's freedom, but we don't really have a day like you do there to remember all the people in our family. So I think that's wonderful, and we should have that here. Okay, thank you, Eduardo. And Yelda says, I think Halloween, like a son of seasons. Halloween is taking, I think you meant taking, part of our life like summer or fall. Okay, so I think Halloween as like one of the seasons. So that was the original reason why they had Halloween. It was to mark the end of the summer and tell people that winter is coming. So they used to like harvest pumpkins and apples and all that stuff. And Halloween would be the date that, from then on it was winter. And also back then they believed in ghosts and spirits. Some people still do. And they had this day, Halloween, where they were supposed to scare off these evil spirits. I think that's sort of the reason why they have Halloween. But thank you very much for sharing, Yelda. Let's move on and do our crossword puzzle. So let's open. No, that didn't open. Okay, so here is our Halloween crossword puzzle. So I found this online. We will do it together. Maybe we'll have to turn it like this. So for those of you who have never done a crossword puzzle, this one I found online is called Halloween Crossword Puzzle. So for each of these, we will have to write a word in the box. So there are clues at the bottom, and we have to write the word in the box. This is a good practice for words, vocabulary, also spelling. So makes you think, use your noggin a little bit. All right, so read the clues below and fill in the crossword puzzle with the correct answers. So number 1, we can see the questions down here. Sorry, I'm just going to have to share this. Let's see if this works. And can I write on it? Perfect. Okay. So, number 1. Whoops. You need the word she rides on a broom. So, number 1, she rides on a broom. What is the answer for number 1? A person who rides on a broom, and we'll check how many letters. Here's number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters. So, who rides on a broom? And I think Eduardo got it. So, Eduardo, great job. You get 1 point. The answer is which? Very good, Eduardo. And Pilar, you got it as well. So don't worry too much about capital letters right now. These are just words. We're just going to write them in the blank, and we'll see who knows the most words about Halloween. So number 1 is finished. Let's move on to number 6 across. So number 6 across. A something spins a web. A something spins a web. So let's find number 6. There it is. So this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. So what spins a web? The winner can have candy. So if you get all the right answers, you can have some candy for Halloween. Okay, Pilar. Oh, Eduardo was a little bit faster. So Eduardo said spider, Pilar said spider. Let's write it in because it's right. Spider. Very good. Okay, you guys are doing great. We'll be done this in no time. Number 8. Something a ghost says. So what does a ghost say? So this is a ghost. If you're not sure this is a ghost, what does a ghost say? Number 8 across. So 3 letters for this one. What does a ghost say? Eduardo, very good. Man, it's hot in this thing. A ghost says, boo. Very good, Eduardo. The ghosts say boo. Yelda, you got it. Very good. You guys are amazing. So boo is just a sound, like boo, scary. That's what a ghost sounds like. Okay, we're doing great. How about number 10? He drinks blood. Oh my goodness. Not a mosquito. This is a monster. This is something that comes out on Halloween. So this is a long one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. What monster drinks blood? Okay, you're close, Yelda. So spelling is a little bit off. And I think Eduardo got it. So vampire. So in English, it's a V. V-A-M-P-I-R-E. Excellent. Eduardo, you're rocking it. Vampire. Yes, you got it too, Pilar. Great job. And there are 7 letters. Okay, you guys are doing great. How about number 11? You wear this to cover your face. That's an easy one, especially during COVID, because we all wear it. Only 4 letters. So what do you wear to cover your face? And sometimes kids will wear this, or people, my wife was wearing one earlier to cover up her identity. Okay, Pilar got this one. So mask, and Eduardo got it too. Great job, you guys. So mask. All right, and I think there's just one more across. Last one, number 12. You can read that one and give me the answer. That's a pretty easy one. So what's number 12? Halloween is always on the 31st of October. Jonathan. Well, Jonathan was first. Great job, Jonathan. Welcome to the class. I haven't seen you here before. So let's put it in there. October. I will capitalize it because it's a month, so let's use our capital letters. Great job, Pilar. Great job, Yelda. You got that one too. So we've got all the words that go across. Let's work on the up and down words now. So let's look at our down clues. Number 1, what you get when you go trick or treating. What you get when you go trick or treating. And let's see, how many letters? So now we have some clues, right? We have the first letter and we have the fourth letter, so it should be a lot easier. Okay, so Jonathan was first. Jonathan beat you just by a second, Pilar. Candy is the right answer. Candy, and Eduardo got candy as well. All right, easy. Easy, like taking candy from a baby. Do you know that expression? When something's really easy, we say, it's like taking candy from a baby. It's so easy because taking candy from a baby is pretty easy. Okay, how about number 3? You wear this when you go trick or treating. You wear this when you go trick or treating. Maybe something like this. Where are my gloves? So what am I wearing? And it's okay if you think I look stupid, you can let me know. So it looks like Yelda got it first. Very good, Yelda. It is a costume. Oh, good, except your spelling. So Eduardo, costume is C-O-S-T-U-M-E. You wrote custom. Custom is a word, but a custom is something that people of a certain culture will do, right? Like a custom is to eat some certain food on a certain day, or like trick-or-treating is a custom here. Crab, okay, yeah, crab costume. Actually, I'm a lobster. I'm a lobster because, you know, I'm in Nova Scotia and we love lobsters. Great job, Pilar, Jonathan, Yelda, you got it as well. So let's write it in there. So you wear this when you go trick-or-treating. C-O-S-T-U-M-E. There we go. Excellent. A few more. So number 4, this is a custom that we do. Carving a blank is a fun Halloween activity. I actually bought one of these yesterday. They're on sale for like $1.67 at Walmart. And later, my wife and I will carve it with a knife. Let's see how many letters. Number 4 down. There it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. The 6th letter is an I. Okay, pumpkin. Very good. Pumpkin. So I see your question there, Pilar. Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Okay, so Jonathan, you got it too. Yelda was a little bit faster, but I want to show this question. So we have a good question by Pilar and said, teacher, why use the, I think you meant word, carving. That's a good question. So we don't use the word carving a lot. Carving is used when you use a knife or something sharp to make a shape out of something. So really, we only carve a few things. We use the word carving for pumpkins when we want to make a shape like a face out of the pumpkin. We use it for turkey. So when we're cutting a turkey, We actually say carve the turkey instead of cut the turkey. And we also carve like wood. Like, so if you make a shape or something out of wood, you'll say the word carving. But really, we don't carve anything else. Like we cut meat, we don't carve meat. We cut cheese, we don't carve cheese. So when you make a shape out of something like a pumpkin or a piece of wood, use the word carve. Okay, does that make sense, Pilar? So we don't use it a lot. We only really use it in a few situations. All right, let's move on. So we got a couple more words. You guys are doing great. Number 5 should be easy one. Trick or. And what do we say after trick? And what one? Number 5. So it's right there. Trick or. Trick or. Okay, Eduardo got it first. Trick or treat. Yelda got it. Trick or treat. Jonathan got it. Pilar got it. Trick or treat. That's an easy one. So when do we say trick or treat? And what does it mean? Trick or treat. A treat is like something nice, like sweet, like candy. That's a treat. We say it, or children will say it when they go to somebody's door and they knock on the door. Somebody opens the door and they say trick or treat. It's kind of like a question, right? You ask it like a question. Trick or treat means if you don't give me a treat, maybe I will play a trick on you. Like maybe scare you or throw eggs at your house or put toilet paper in your trees. You're not supposed to do that, but some teenagers do that. Basically, if you don't give me candy, I'm going to do something bad to you. So we say trick or treat. Children say trick or treat. Hopefully they get a treat so they don't have to do something like that, throw eggs at their house. Good question. I only knew the saying, but I never thought of the meaning by itself. Yeah, so most people don't really think about it. But when you break it down, trick or treat, give me a treat or else I'm going to play a trick on you. Okay, thank you for that comment, Jonathan. All right, just a couple more. We're almost done, but this is some great vocabulary, and it gets you to think in English because that's the goal, right? You want to be thinking in English so you don't have to translate from English to another language back to English. If you can start thinking in English, you guys will be much, much, much better off. All right, so I think we're on number 7. He is made of bones. So who or what is made of bones? Number 6 down. So that is up here. Starts with S, and it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters. Pilar got it already. So great job, Pilar. You're first. Yelda, you also got it. Great job, Eduardo. So it is a skeleton, and we all have one. Skeleton. You might not have one, decoration or something in your house, but we all have a skeleton inside us. It's holding us up. If we didn't have a skeleton, then we would just be blobs of water and blood and other stuff. Okay, great job. You got it too, Jonathan. That's great. So skeletons, some people dress up as skeletons. Some people decorate their houses with skeletons, as we saw in the picture. All right, where are we now? Number 7. Ooh, that's a hard one. They like to howl at the moon. They like to howl at the moon. What could that be? Number 7. So there it is. 7 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. We have a few letters, an O and a V and an S. This is kind of like Wheel of Fortune. Do you guys know Wheel of Fortune? My wife and I started watching that on Netflix. but you have to fill in the blanks. You get some letters and you have to guess the word. Okay, so I think Jonathan got it. So wolves. So wolves fits. Wolf is singular. One wolf, many wolves. You got it, Jonathan. That's great. So let's write it in there. Great. So wolves are a common thing for Halloween, and also werewolves. Werewolves are a mix between people and wolves. You know, if you watch movies like Twilight, I think they had werewolves. Jack Nicholson was in a werewolf movie a long time ago. But you got it, Jonathan. You got it, Pilar. And yep, you're just missing S, wolves. So Mora, I'm going to call you Mora. Exactly. So you just put an S and then you have wolves. Great job, you guys. So I think 2 words left and then we'll move on. So number 9, you might see a ghost in a blank house. So what kind of house would you see a ghost in? So this one, it's actually a little bit hard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. Where would you see a ghost? Jonathan, very good. So a haunted house. So haunted means that it has evil spirits or ghosts in it. Yeah, and we have some places around Canada where you can actually visit a haunted house. Even scarier, they have like a haunted cornfield. So you go outside and there's monsters and people with knives and stuff, and you go around and they scare the crap out of you. But some people like that. So let's put it in there. Haunted house. Perfect. And we are down to the last one, number 13. These flying animals come out at night. So these flying animals come out at night, and you see them around this time of year, number 13. Four letters. That's an easy one. They're little, they fly around. Some of them bite people. Oh, you're close, Yelda. So not beat. You're close. Beat is like a sound, or to punch somebody is to beat them. Oh, not a bird. You're close. So these come out at night. There's a movie about a man who beats up people. Man, not Birdman, although there is a Birdman movie too. Okay, I think Pilar got it. So bats. Right. No, not bath. So bats. Yes. So Pilar was first. Yelda got it as well. So bats. Bats come out at night, and a lot of people decorate their house with bats. If you're in Canada, a good place to go for decorations is Dollarama. So Dollarama is this cheap store that has really cheap stuff. You can go there. They have tons and tons of stuff for Halloween. So you can get webs, you can get bats, you can get skeletons, all of these things for your house, and the price is really low. But of course, the quality isn't that good. But, most people just get a whole bunch of stuff, put it up, take it down, and use it again the next year. So great job. I think we finished. So that was a good activity to practice with some Halloween vocabulary. Maybe it gives you some thoughts about what you might want to dress up as for Halloween. And it's also a good activity. Maybe this is something you can do with your kids. You can look for more online because it really gets you to think in English, like I said. So learn some new words, think in English, practice spelling. So there's a lot of good things about doing crossword puzzles. All right, so great job. Any questions about the vocabulary before we move on? So We covered a lot of words: witch, candy, treat, spider, haunted, skeleton, pumpkin, costume, wolves, vampire, mask, boo. We covered quite a lot. So if you don't have any questions, let's move on to our next activity. So we will be now talking a little bit about safety. So similar to what we did, but we're going to talk about safety issues. So if you are taking your kids out for Halloween, these are some things that you should know. And just to be safe, and we'll practice our English at the same time. So, number 1, choose a safe and bright something for your children. Pilar, good, you learned some words. That's awesome. So, fill in the blank. Choose a safe and bright what for your children? I think this one we should probably say here we go. Costume. So we should choose a safe and bright costume for our children. So very good. You got it, Jonathan. Think very carefully about the costume you choose for your kids. Make sure that they can move around. Make sure it's warm enough because, it's October and it's really cold. Also, make sure it's bright. So red is a good color for a costume instead of black because there will be cars driving around. We don't want our kids to be in any danger. So wear a bright costume. Make sure they can move and breathe. And also, some of them have things that hang down and can make your children fall down. So you want one that they can walk around very comfortably in. Okay, so costume, number 1. Number 2, make sure your child can breathe and see through their blank or use face paint instead. So make sure your child can breathe and see through their what? Mask. Okay, very good, Yelda. Great. So we learned that word already. Make sure they can see through their mask. Also, make sure that they can breathe, or you can get paint. So you can get face paint. Like if you're a vampire, maybe you want to put on white face paint with some blood. I remember when I was young, used to be a vampire, and you get the fake teeth. You put some fake blood and white, and maybe it's easier for them to breathe and talk, and also, to eat candy afterwards. Okay, great. So Jonathan got it. Eduardo got it. You guys are awesome. Number 3, give your child something so they can be seen. So something they can hold in their hand that lights things up so your children can be seen. Okay, I was about to say masks. How can you know when to use singular or plural? So that's a good question. So because, you have to look at the sentence, Jonathan. So make sure your child, that's one child, it's singular, can breathe and see through their mask or use face paint instead. So since it's one child, the child is singular, probably they're only going to wear one mask at a time. So in this case, mask would be better than masks. On the other hand, if I had said, make sure your children can breathe and see through their masks. So if I said children, say masks. If I say child, then just say one mask, singular. Right? Does that make sense, Jonathan? So you have to look at the whole sentence. And if it makes sense to have one child, one mask. More than one, then we would say masks. So, candy bag, sure, yeah. So sometimes children carry a bag. Some of them carry a pillowcase, like what you would put over a pillow, and they carry their candy in that. So if it's bright, that's better. White is good. Also, they do recommend, whoops, you might want to give them a flashlight. So a flashlight so they can see where they're walking. They can be seen by cars. That would be a good idea as well. Candle, you don't want your kids to light themselves on fire. So candle is a little bit dangerous for a child, but flashlight would be a good one, Eduardo. And Jonathan said, excellent, thank you. I was confused by through there. Ah, tricky. Yeah, I know. Sometimes we use there. All right. So there can refer to a single person. Maybe it's not exactly 100% correct. Like normally you would say, make sure your child can breathe through his or her mask, but there we use just to make it easier because I may be talking about a boy or a girl or somebody who is maybe non-binary, who doesn't conform to he or she. So we use there a lot when it's a lot easier than to say his or her or its or whatever, right? So good question. Hopefully that makes sense, Jonathan. Okay, couple more, and then we're almost finished. Don't let a young child carve the... So what do we carve? We talked about this one already. What do children carve? Or what should children not carve? Okay, and pumpkin. Okay, Pilar, good. Pumpkin, Jonathan, pumpkin. Turkey, okay. You don't really want your kid to carve the turkey either, right? Because they use a sharp knife, but you definitely should get a pumpkin and carve it with your children, but maybe let them draw. Like here in the behind me, you can let them draw the face and the eyes and the nose, but you should actually cut it out for them. Right? You don't want to give your kid a knife and say, hey, go crazy with the pumpkin, right? That would cause a lot of problems. And then you also want to be careful with the candle. So normally what we do is draw a face. Well, actually, first we got to open up the pumpkin. So cut a hole in the top, take out all the insides of the pumpkin, all the seeds and the crap inside, and then we then draw the face and cut out the face. But if you're going to do this at home, don't let your kids carve the pumpkin. You carve the pumpkin, you let your kids draw the face. Okay, so we have a question here. Do you know when will our children go out of the street for trick or treat time? Okay, that's a good question. So it's up to you. Usually the younger kids go first, and then like the older kids maybe go a little bit later. I would say around 5 o'clock. I mean, now in Halifax, it gets dark super early. So it gets dark around 6 or 6:15. So 5:30, 6 is a good time to go. If you're going with your kids, then it's okay if it's dark, right? But yeah, I would say around 5, 6. That's a good question. Let me look it up. Little kids like to get out of the door early before the older kids in spooky costumes start strolling the streets. Expect to have your first candy collectors arrive anytime between 5:30 and 6 p.m. So, if you're taking your kids out, 5:30 is fine. Usually we wait till people get home from work, right? So if they're working a normal work day, which is usually finished at 5 o'clock, we give them a little chance to get home, maybe have a little dinner, and then we can start knocking on the doors and saying trick or treat. But that's a great question. So 5:30 is fine. And also look at the houses, right? Some houses, they might not participate in Halloween. So look and see if there's a light on. If there's a light on, then it should be fine to go to that house. Also look for a pumpkin or a jack-o'-lantern. If they don't have that in the window, maybe they don't really like Halloween and they don't want people going to their house. So check and see before you go, but 5:30, 6 o'clock should be fine. You're welcome, Yelda. So just a couple more things and then we're finished. I think we're out of time for today. This one's very important. Every year you hear stories about some kids get something bad from a stranger. So you need to check your children's candy carefully before they eat it. And think about what you're going to give out. So if you're participating in Halloween, what are you going to give to the trick-or-treaters? So usually small candies in a package is best. Don't give them loose candy in no package. Don't give them cookies that you made yourself. Don't give them apples. I remember when I was a kid and people gave us apples, we just threw them away because, it can be a little bit dangerous to bite an apple. So always check very carefully, make sure the packages are sealed. If there's an apple or something, throw it away. Don't eat the apple because there's stories about people putting pins and bad things in the apples. So check your children's candy carefully. Okay, before they eat it. And the last tip, should be your child go inside a blank home. Maybe haunted home, yeah. Or let's say a stranger's home. Right? Halloween's a weird day because normally we tell kids don't talk to strangers, right? Strangers can be dangerous, so don't talk to them. But on Halloween, we send them to strangers' houses all over the place and say, go knock on a stranger's door and let them give you candy. So that's okay. It's usually safe. Make sure that they don't go alone, but also tell your kids never to go inside someone's house. If they don't know them, don't go in the house. Stay outside and have them come to the door and give them candy. Yes, so their house or a stranger's house. Watch out for strangers. If you're with your kids, maybe it's fine, but don't let them go inside on their own. Oh, last one. Make sure children don't something on hard candies and gum. So sometimes people give out hard candies and gum. Sometimes it can get caught in their throat. Right? So make sure children don't What is it called when you get something in your throat and you can't breathe? And it can be very dangerous. You could die. No, not take or bet. They can take the candies or gum. They just have to be really careful. They can eat the candy. They can swallow it. But that's the answer I was looking for, Jonathan. Choke. So when you choke on something, it's caught in your throat and you can't breathe and you can't get the candy or gum or whatever it is out of your throat. So choke is what I was looking for. CHOKE. Make sure children don't choke on hard candies and gum. So make sure you're watching them when they eat it. Tell them to be careful. Don't let them eat too much candy at a time or else they'll get sick. Yeah. I remember after Halloween, my brother and I would dump all our candy on the floor. We would count it and sort it, and then we would trade it, right? Some candy he liked that I didn't like, some candy I liked he didn't like. We would trade the candy, and then we would have candy for like 3 or 4 weeks. It was great. So we were going to play a game. Oh, we don't really have time. We did quite a lot today. So we learned lots of Halloween words. We learned some safety tips. We did a crossword puzzle. We asked lots of English questions. So hopefully you got some good things out of today's lesson. If nothing else, you got to see me in a stupid costume. Don't worry, I will not be wearing this costume next week. I'll be back to my normal clothing. I just wanted to have an excuse to wear my costume because this year, I don't think there's any parties going on, or, I'm not going to the nightclub to dance in my Halloween costume. So this is my last chance to wear it. So that's pretty much it for today. Get in touch. You can go to our website. You can send me an email, or you can just tune in next week on Monday. We will have another lesson next week. Jonathan. So Jonathan has a comment. It was really fun. Thank you so much for your time. Very welcome. Thank you for joining and asking all your great questions, Jonathan. Hopefully we'll see you next week. So we'll be back Monday and Thursday next week, as long as everything's okay with everything in my life. You're very welcome, Pilar. Thanks for coming back. Say hi to Christian for me. And I will see you guys next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.